Hello there, Salesforce developers. My name is Kevin Porman. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take a library that we've worked on codeLive before, and we're going to extract it out of Apex recipes and build it into its own package. Now you may be thinking, but that's not what I heard about on the Twitters. And that's true. We've had a little bit of a technical difficulty today, and so we're having to switch from doing the live stream with Gamma Blizzard to doing this one. And I apologize for the bait and switch. I promise we'll get her on here shortly, but we need to do this one today instead. So with that said, welcome. Say hi in the chat. I'd love to see you there, and we'll get started here. So over the past month or so, I've worked with Jennifer Bennett, and we built a stubbing framework. Now the one we put into Apex recipes I called SimpleStub. And what I'd like to do is take a look at the one we walked through last week and the one that we have in Apex recipes and build out a synthesis, one that we can actually, put out on its own as its own library. We'll put it out as a package so people can install it. We'll put it up on GitHub and everyone can just go ahead and use it. My goal is to create sort of a de facto standard for Stubbing Framework on the whole interwebs, and so the Salesforce universe. So with that said, again, welcome to the stream today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're here every Thursday, and we will go ahead and get started here. So like I said, last week we started off with looking at, 3 weeks ago, we started off looking at the Stubbing framework that was being used and had been developed by the Salesforce .org side of things. And then they sort of promoted a different one. They made a bigger one together, and not a bigger one, a more detailed, in-depth one with a different interface. And so we're going to look at those interfaces and changes here, and we're going to pull them in. So I've created just a simple project, and I've created a class called Stub, and you'll if you look through this, you'll be like, oh, this is the SimpleStub, and that's true. I've renamed it from SimpleStub to Stub, and the thing we're going to do is we're just going to start off where everyone should start off, which is actually commenting your code. If you're going to release something, you should comment it. So we'll do a description here, and main stub framework class, use in unit testing, and use in unit testing for fun and profit. Be a little cheeky in our comments. Gotta keep them interesting. Now, one of the things I like to do is inner classes are okay, but when I'm doing a library, I want it to be stupid simple for people to understand and follow. So what I want to do is I want to extract out our method class here and pull that out into its own class, or a method call, and then I'm also going to pull out signature. So let's go ahead and create a couple classes, and we'll do create Apex class. We'll do signature because I'm there. Put it in the. I'm sorry, I did not want to put it there. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to grab the signature and signature classes and drag them down to my test helpers folder. Yep, move them down there. Now the reason I'm going to do this is because stubbing and the classes related to it can only be used inside the course of a test. So we'll do @is_test, and here we've got our signature like that. And I'm going to go to the class here. Actually just gonna pull that out, and we'll do this. Here we go. Now I'm not going to do with sharing, right? Because I don't have anything in the context of, actually here, we'll just do with sharing. That makes sense. With sharing. Okay, good. All right, and we'll give a comment to this one. So boom, and why did it not close my comment? That's silly. Okay. We don't need author or since. And this class represents the idea of a method's signature, i.e. the method signature, the unique combination of return type, method name, and parameter types. Okay, and there we go. And let's go. Where did my? Oop! I lost my notes. Where did my notes go? There we go. So we've got our class here. Now we can save the. We can't save it yet because this will also have to be saved. Oh, I did pull it out. Hey, look at that. So we can save both of these. Let it do its thing. Do. Saving. 0 issues found. That's always nice. I'm going to move off PMD though and go to the Apex. Go to the Apex. There we go. Thank you for letting me click on the right thing. Expected file path. Oh, here we go. Got an error. Test helper stub builder. I do have that, but I don't have the stub builder. Interesting. Stub builder. I have the metadata, but not the actual class. What happened to that? Okay, I'm just going to create a new file here. New file. Stub builder.cls. Okay, and I'll do public with sharing stub builder. I should do class. I put class in there. Like that. Now we should be able to save. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. What does that? I'm going to get a little sip of a drink here. Okay. No issues there. So we've extracted signature into its own thing. I'm going to close that. I'm going to also pull in and pull out this internal class for method call. And do method class, we'll do method call. And this time I'm going to put it in my custom directory to start with. Okay. Boom. Public with sharing. We'll go give this one a header. Also going to go mark this one is test. There we go. Save that. Did I mark this one as a, yeah, I did. Okay, good. I don't need the, oh. Don't need those two. And what we're going to do is we're going to say this one class represents the idea of a method call inside a mock stub object. You'll create numerous method calls we call objects to represent which all methods you want to stub a given class. Okay, and I'm gonna leave those two here. And oh, I got an HTML type stub exception, and that's because it's stub. Now that we're outside of, we're not an inner class anymore, we've got to make that fully qualified. Anybody, got some people saying hello. And anybody have questions, comments, snide remarks about what's going on today? Type is not visible, stub exception. Let's see. Private class. Hey, look at that. I'm going to make it public. Nadia, we had some technical difficulties today, and we're not going to be able to have Gamma join us today. I apologize for that. We've had to sort of, I'm not really a sports person, but I think the phrase is audible, and switch topics a little bit today. We will get Gamma rescheduled hopefully when we don't have technical difficulties. So what we're doing today is we're working on taking a library we created and sort of prototyped, polishing it up, and then getting it out as a library that people can install in their org via a package. So we've got a whole bunch of little things we're doing today, but it's all coming together here in our work. So we've got our main stub class, and we've got our method call class, and I think we've got some to-dos in here. And let's look at what our to-dos are. To-do, allow exceptions to be passed in. We talked about that on the stream, I think, a week ago. And then we have, where did my, I keep losing my files, my notes here. And I think that's because this is not what I, woke up this morning thinking we were going to be doing. So give me just a second and let me open up that repository. Okay, open this one up. Okay, so this is the stub builder class that we worked with last week. And we're going to basically recreate this, but we're going to pull it out with some modifications to make this easier for people who've never done this before to understand and use. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare our stub and stub builder classes, and we're going to have a method call builder, right? And so if you look at the stub builder that we had last week, we've got a signature builder class, or a signature builder method, and we've also got a signature builder class, and then down here we've got a method builder class. So let's go ahead and work on our method builder here. So in our stub builder, I'm just going to copy this over, and we'll work on that there. Nadia, I apologize. I understand there was an expectation on what the content was going to be today, and it's one of those situations where it's a little beyond our control. I apologize. So let's go and create a class, and we'll do method call builder, and we're going to put it in a custom directory. This is still going in our test helpers. Now this is one of those things that you may not realize you can do, but if you do mark it as is test, it doesn't count against your Apex code. Doesn't count against your code that you have to test, doesn't count against your number of characters or the size of your Apex code. So if something can only be used in the context of a test, like anything related to stubbing, then you should definitely mark it as test. So we've got a method call builder, and I'm going to, this is the one we're copying over, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that over to the left, or to the right, I mean, and then we can start looking at what we want to do to work with this. So we've got some properties in here. Let's see if we want to keep those properties. We will have a signature builder, so private signature builder, and we'll just call this one signature builder, like that. We'll do private list object. This is going to be the args, or arguments. Actually, we're going to do parameters. Like that. We'll do private list of IDs. We'll call this one IDs. And, oh, hey, that's misspelled. There we go. Private Boolean. We're going to do throws exception. And we're going to set that to false. And then I'm going to do private object thrown exception. And we'll get to what that is here in a second. And then we're going to do our private object return value. Okay. So once we've got our properties set, we can start looking at what we want to do with our builder methods. Now, remember last week we talked about what a builder is. A builder is a way of building a series of methods so that each of the methods returns that object. So you can keep chaining them together and calling the, I want to create an object that does this and then that and then this, so on and so forth. So we're gonna mimic that builder pattern with our method call builder. And when we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to have public, it's going to be constructor method call builder, and we'll do this with signature builder. And then this is going to be our just like arguments. This is the bare minimum. So list of object. We'll do parameters. Okay. And there we go. And what we're going to do is we're just going to say this dot params is equal to parameters, and this dot signature builder is equal to signature builder. Really basic constructor there. What we're going to do next is we can work with the set IDs thing. The set IDs thing is a feature that the nonprofit side of the group that developed this put in here, and that allows you to say, I'm going to create an object, get an ID for it, but it's going to be a fake ID. I'm not going to put it in the database, but what I want is this ID so I can set it in case I need to do something with it in my test. So we're going to pull that over as well. So public and method call builder, and we're going to do set IDs. Now you'll see that this is very similar. It's going to return the same object with the IDs as the set, and that's what makes the whole builder pattern work, is that we've got the ability to always return that same object, so we can keep linking things together, dot, dot, dot. And what we'll do is we'll say list IDs, and we'll make this one do nothing more than say this dot IDs is equal to IDs, and we're going to return this. That's the magic sauce for a builder pattern, is returning this. So basically, if you conceptually think about it, every method in this class is going to return the same object. All right. So we have that there. We're translating this, so we've got this built out. Now, in our return builder, our method call builder, part of what we want to do is we want to change some of the nomenclature, the way we think about things, make it a little bit easier to understand. So we've got some methods here on the right, like then return, and we want to change them up a little bit, right? Because then return may not make the most exact sense. So we'll do public, and that is change the object. That's going to return a stub builder. Yeah, those aren't. I'm not sure those belong there. We'll come back to that. But we want to change this to be, instead of then return, we want to be returning. So let's look at what we did over here. Now in the method builder and the signature builder class that they have here, they've got let's start with the signature builder. That makes more sense. So we'll come back over here and we'll create a new file. This is their signature builder code that we're modifying, we're refactoring, and we'll come over here and we'll do a new Apex class, signature builder. And we're going to put it in the custom directory. This is going to go into our test helpers. This is still an at is test class. Okay, now over here we're going to have our stub builder. Let's see what that stub builder is as we unwind all of this. So we've got a stub builder is just our class. So that's going to be our, we've got a stub builder class over here. Stub builder, like that. Oh, I'm going to mark this one at is test. And there we go. And let's see, the signature builder is going to require a stub builder. So we can just do this. We'll do private. Nope, this is the stub builder, not the signature builder. Okay. And I don't need that constructor there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say private stub builder, stub builder, private string method name, and then we'll do private list type parameter types, like that. I like to go for longer, more descriptive variable names. Somebody once told me you got to write code like the person who has to maintain it is a homicidal maniac with your phone number. So I always like to be explicit in what I'm trying to do in method names and in method variables. I'm not always the greatest at it, especially when it comes to like iteration variables. I still like I or X or something like that. But I had a friend of mine yell at me for using a 3-letter variable name the other day, so I'm trying to be better about variable names. So we've got parameter types, and we're going to have a method builder, list of method builders. So list method call builder. And it's not going to know what that is because we haven't saved that file yet. So just bear with me for a second. We're going to call this one method call builders. Auto fill that out for me. Now we're going to start building some constructors here. And we'll do public signature builder. And we're going to do stub builder, the string, we're going to string method name, and parameter types. We'll do list type parameter types. That's not supposed to be capitalized. There we go. Parameter types, okay. And we're going to save that here, and we'll do this way. We're going to basically just crib this. No need to retype it all. And I don't have builder, I have stub builder, so I'll do stub builder. Method name is going to be the same, and parameter types there. Now, one of the things I've been thinking about lately is how can I, make this a little bit, how can I make my code a little more bulletproof, so that I can sort of stop unwanted or unthought of actions. It's not so much like the bugs that I find that I run myself into aren't where I didn't anticipate something, or I'm sorry, they are where like I just didn't anticipate something. So what I was thinking I might do is set this to private final, which means that I can set the value of this method name exactly once. And that's important because I don't ever want the method to change if my class changes. So I'm going to put that in there as final. And then my parameter types are going to be there too. That should also probably be final. So we'll save those. All right, let me get a drink and let me save this. All right. Signature builder, param types does not exist. That's right, because I spelled it out. Parameter types. Boom, there it is. Okay. Failed to run. Version, that's right. Yes, okay, fine. I'm waiting for the day when we have code that does what I say, not what I type. And I'm not getting formatting, so I'm just going to run npm install here. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to run npm install. JK. So we've got a constructor here. I'm going to format this a little bit easier to read here. So we've got our 3 parameters. Okay. Now, I've got this constructor, and I can say I want to, here's my stub builder, I want to make a method call with this signature, etc. Now I want to be able to say some things about it, like whether or not it was called, and called with different objects, and these are all returning values here, and therefore doing assertions, like sort of behavioral driven assertions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these and I'm going to move them over, just part and parcel. And when I move them over, we're going to have all sorts of issues because, well, a lot of these don't exist. Because remember, we called ours method call builder. So to fast refactor that, I'm going to say method builder is going to be method call builder. Fix all those. And there we go. Okay, called with. Got that. Now we've got a couple more buttons here. A couple more command objects or methods here. And we'll put those over here. I'm going to do the same thing. Just fix that real quick. And this is not going to be stub method call. It's going to just be method call. And that's not stub method call. There we go. And that's not stub method call. Thank you. Okay. Stub signature. It's not signature. It's just the signature class. And because we just named that signature. Yep. Signature. Good. Parameter types. This is going to be variable does not exist parameter types. That's interesting. Wonder why. Probably because we want to do this dot parameter types. That's going to be this dot name. I like to put this in there. Not entirely required, but still. So our method call builder MB in our, what do we call that? We call that method call builders. We did. Okay. That's a property, so we need to make it a lowercase me. So we're going to do this dot method call builders, and we're gonna I don't like we're going to say this one is the method call builder singular, that there, and I think we're gonna be builder. Now, what did we call builder over here? It's stub builder. So I'm going to grab builder and do, I can't do that because it's part of lots of words. This dot stub builder. Okay. Method does not exist. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to go back to our method call builder. And our method call builder has the set IDs, and we've got over here, let me make this a little bit more equal. We've got our method call builders, and then we've got our returns, and this is the method we're missing. So let's go ahead and call this, move this over here. Thunder Gamer, I'm sorry, a little bit of background as to what we're doing. A few weeks ago, we worked with a stub framework that we created called SimpleStub. We put it in Apex recipes, demonstrated how to use it, wrote some tests that were stubbing out injected objects. And then last week, we had a special guest with us, Jennifer Bennett. And Jennifer Bennett and her team have built out a much more advanced, fully fleshed out stub provider framework. And so we are sort of merging the two together and then releasing it out as a package so that people can drop it in their org and use it. The idea is to create a bulletproof de facto standard way of building stubs that everyone can benefit from. It'll be open source and people will be able to go and grab it. But we gotta sort of synthesize everything together here. Part of what we got last week was the ability to use the builder pattern. That builder pattern, again, once you create an object, then you use the builder pattern to keep adding things to it, or to keep returning. You call methods on it, and those methods always return the object itself, so that you can chain things together. So we're going to work on that. This one's called the build, and it's going to return a stub method call, but we don't have that. We just have method call, and our method call is has a build method, I believe. Let's verify that. Method call matches. So the method call builder has got a build method, and it's marked as private. And I don't understand that, because if we look at our signature builder, the signature builder is calling. Oh, it's adding it. No. This is the fun of refactoring code. You think you understand what it's doing, and then you're like, wait, what? So make this down here. I also have noticed this debugging technique I use where if I'm having a hard time like thinking through something for a second, I'll pause and do a different task, and then when I come back to it, it'll make more sense to me and it sort of clicks. It's I refer to my brain as being asynchronous. So what we'll do is we're actually going to what we're gonna do is we're going to figure out why our npm script is failing. So npm install. Now, when we have the npm install, when it works, we get things like prettier automatically when we save our files. So let's figure out what's going on with that. Cannot resolve dependencies. It sounds like what actually is happening is that our package JSON is out of date with what these packages are. So what I'm going to do is go over to Apex recipes super quick, and I'm going to go and find my dev dependencies. These are up to date, I know, so I'll go and I'll plug these in. Like that, and I've also got a, yeah, let's save that. Let's try that again. npm install. Kind of working. Yep, there we go. Working. Okay, so while that's doing its thing, let's take another look at this. So our method call builders are going to help us build out a method call object. So it's going to define a method with its signature. We've got our signature stub builder, and okay, great. And then the other, oh wait, the prettier RC file I also have to update because I want it to look like all the other things we do. So copy that one out of Apex recipes. We'll put this one over here. Do save. Go to our npm scripts, and we'll do prettier. Let it work through our code base here. Yay, okay, it's doing its thing. Oh, it doesn't like stub method call. Let's figure out where stub method call. Method call, oh, excuse me, I'm in the wrong file. This is going to be new method call. Okay. And then the other one it doesn't like is method call builders. Line 56. Oh, wait. More errors. Oh, I love it when it's like whack-a-mole with bugs. A legal assignment from list IDs. That's just a typo. method call builder. That's a typo. So like that. Fix that. Invalid type stub signature on line 23. That's because it's there. Okay. Constructor not defined, stub signature on 24. Let's see if that goes away. Throw exception. It's because I called it throws exception. And then we'll go this.ids. Silly me. Okay. We got one there, one there. Let's see if that saves. Oh, come back here. Okay. Variable does not exist on line 61 of signature builder. So go to signature builder, 61 method call builder. For each of these method call builders, I don't think we want dot, we just want method call builders. It's this dot. Okay. And then method is not visible. It's not visible because in theirs they're doing it as a inner class. So we'll make that public. Save that. See if that builds out here. 24. Method call builder 24. 24. Called with args. I believe that's because I called that parameters, but let's double click over here. And we're going to say object arbs, you called ours parameters, so 24. That's this. Save that. And hopefully that will fix it. Our dependent class that needs recompilation is being recompiled at the moment. Oh, look at that. It worked fine. Woot woot. Okay. Close that. Our signature builder here. Great. All right. So we've got our signature builder. We've got a method call builder that has a build method. We've got these other methods in the builder call that return the stub builder. And I'm going to copy these over and we're going to refactor them. Because these are the ones that I want to make sure make sense to people. So we're going to save that. Get it formatted. And instead of then return, we're going to say returning. Okay, and we're going to do returning. Okay. And signature builder.end signature. That's this one. End signature is private. We're going to make that public. Didn't like that. Variable does not exist. Throw exception. This is going to be throws exception. We're going to say this dot throws exception is true. And actually it's not going to be throw, it's going to be throwing exception. Try that again. Okay. Yay, that worked. Okay, so we've renamed these because it makes sense, because what we want is a nice flowing, almost English-like construction to our code and our framework. So we want to be able to say, create me a method call with this builder that is going to be used on the name foo, accepting parameter string bar, throwing exception, you know, content exception type thing. Now we're going to extend this a little bit by saying, we're going to say public stub builder returning named exception. And we're going to have exception. I can't use exception. It's a reserved word. Exception selected exception. And we're going to say this dot throws exception is equal to true. And we're going to return now this end signature. Let's look at that. Signature builder.end signature. And the end signature is going to return builder. I'm going to say this dot thrown exception is equal to, back up. You know what? I'm gonna make this the same name. I'm gonna overload it. So we've got a selected exception. We're gonna return signature builder.end signature like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this dot thrown exception is equal to selected exception. All right, so we've got the same method, throwing exception, and I can optionally pass it in either an exception or not. Yeah, I like that. I like that style of doing things. And we'll save that here. And then we've got to look at our builder object. So builder is our stub builder. So it looks at our stub builder class. And our stub builder class has nothing in it. Ooh. Okay, now let's look at our stub builder over here. And let's pull this all in so we can compare it in the same window. We'll make another file over here. All right, so our stub builder is going to have a list of signature builders. List signature builder. Signature builders. New list. Signature builder. Okay. Close that out. That'll give us a little bit more real estate. And then we've got some constructors here. Public stub builder with type, object type. And what is this object type? Well, remember when we're stubbing something, it's going to be based on a particular object. So we're going to have this dot object type equal to object type. Better give that a property. So we'll do private type object type. Okay, and then we can do these when methods. And these all build on one another. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy them. And we're going to refactor them over here. So let's come back over here. Okay, and these when methods are different. They're all overloaded. Right? So when we think about our methods and how we want to use this, when we have a stub, say a stub on object foo, and we pass in when we get a method like bar with a parameter list of baz, then we're going to create our signature builder for this object foo for the method bar with the parameter types, list string or whatever it is. I'm not sure I'm sold on the when syntax. If you've got ideas on this one, feel free to chime in. That was a great thing to say something in the chat if you've got opinions on that. But my guess is I think I want to say having or mocking method name. So we can say give me a signature builder for type foo mocking bar with a list of param types. I like that idea of mocking better. So a stub is going to have mock methods in the stub object. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to refactor this to say when to go into calling this one having. Now it occurs to me that having may be a reserved word because it doesn't like that. Having. Let's see. Let's get a Chrome. We'll do a Safari window here. Maybe, if I can get Safari to listen to me. And we'll bring this up and we'll do Apex reserved words. And having is a reserved word. When is also a reserved word, so that's an interesting thing. I'm wondering if this is a false positive because we haven't saved this yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and save it. Fingers crossed. Failed to run. Okay, let's see. What did it fail to run? Unexpected token having. Why? If we can get away with when, why can't I have having? Return must be because it's receiving this as a. It's thinking this is. Okay, so mocking, I think is actually what I decided on not having, right? Mocking. Yeah. So we're gonna do mocking. I need more magic bean water. We'll save this. Mocking. Maybe. Saving. Failed to run. Okay, why is it failing to run? Invalid type signature string on line 11. Signature string method name. Is that really signature string? Let's look at this. So our stub builder is going to have our signature builder when string method name. How did I screw that up? Signature string signature builder when. Oh, it's string method name. String method name, yeah, that's weird. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll save now. Yeah, there we go. So now our API is going to look like this. We're going to be able to say stub builder foo stub is equal to stub builder foo dot class whatever dot mocking some method name list object params, like that. And the thing about making that sort of Fluent API is that we can do, and we can also do a mocking second method name, like that. Okay, so now we can stub that. We can create that mocking, and that's going to create the method object for us, or the method name. It's going to create that. Our mocking here is going to create return mocking getting down to this. Return method name new list type. Okay, those are just helpful constructor we got going on. Our signature builder, mocking. So when you're going to create mocking, it's going to create us that method call builder, and then we're going to create those method calls. Yeah, we got an example of this here in our service test. Let's look at where we did this. And so we're going to say this is sort of our example, all right? And we're going to this is what we want, right? And this is what we can start with. So we're going to create the new stub with the class. That's right. Instead of when, we're calling mocking. And then we've got this called with, and it's got to be these are the parameters. So if we look at our stub builder, we've got our signature builder, we've got the called with and a list of arguments or parameters. And when we create that, we're going to create that method call builder with our parameters. And so this constructor takes those parameters and sets it in there. And then our constructor is going to say, called with objects, called with, these are different constructors for called with. Yep. I'm not sure I like called with. So mocking with parameters makes more sense to me. With parameter types makes even more sense. So if we wanted to make our API read mocking this method with parameter types, we could do that. And then we can say returning or returning exception, like that. So I like the idea of with parameter types. Mocking method call is what I'm going to change. So we did mocking, and I think that's pretty good. But instead of calling it mocking, I'm going to do mocking method call, because that's even more explicit. So what I'm going to do is search for this, and I'm going to change these to mocking method call. We could do method call, we could do mocking method named. Yeah, what do people think? Should we do mocking method call or mocking method named? See if anybody's got anything to say here on the stream here in our last 7 minutes today. I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with mocking method name. Mocking method call. Mocking method call. We're going to do mocking method call. Okay, so now our API looks like this. Mocking method call, some method name with parameters. Okay, and yeah, so we can just do the method name, or we can do the method name with a parameter type, or up to 4 parameter types. I like that a lot. And then, so we'll save that. And our method call builder is going to have our returning here. So we'll be able to say returning in this, like I said over here. So returning or returning exception. So we can, or throwing exception, returning or throwing exception. Throwing exception or throwing exception object. Mocks. Somebody's saying mocks. Does she want to say more about that? You're saying instead of method call, method, are you saying we should use mocks instead of our stub builder here, mocking method call. We could do mocks. Mocks method call. I like mocking better. We can always come back and change this, you know. Could make an argument for it on GitHub and do a PR and change it. So we've got our mocking method call here, and we've got our returning and throwing exceptions. So I think those are good. We've got our signature builder that is going to return the object and arguments. I'm liking that. And then, yeah, okay, so we're going to do it that way. And then over here in our method call, we've got a method that is going to, our method call is different than our method call builder. So our method call builder is going to call build. It's going to create a new method call with the signature that it's passed in, called with parameters, and we no longer have called with. Called with is showing up over here as being valid. Do we have a called with? Yeah, we do have a called with. But method call called with, that does make sense. That reads. So foo called with object here. Okay. Then returns, throws exception. I'm going to go back to the signature builder, excuse me, the method call builder here. And we're going to say if throws exception, then throws exception. And here we've got to say if this dot thrown exception is not null, method call dot thrown, then throw exception, this dot throw an exception. Okay, so we're handling that. Else return this here. Boom. Okay. And then return. So our method call is going to have a object being then throw exception, and we also need a public method call, then throw exception object, throw exception is true, return exception object. Legal conversion from exception to method call. That's true. And throw exception. We're going to return this. Oh, the handle call does it. Okay. So we're going to say return this. Okay, and then up here in our handle call method, we're going to say if throw exception, and it's gotta think about that one. We have 1 minute left. Stub builder.mocks.with param. I'm going to copy and paste that here into my notes, and we'll see what comes of it. This is Shish's suggestion. Okay, and then, okay, so I think that's a good stopping point for today. I'm going to keep working on this and get it out as a library that we can all use and drop into our org. I want it to be truly drop-in and just ready to go, so I'll keep working on that. Again, thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry we had to change the content on today's out at the very last minute, but we will get Gemma rescheduled. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you again next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific.